God says, there is a reason they can't stop loving you. It's not your smile, your words, or the way you walk into a room. It's something far deeper. Something I placed within your spirit before they even knew your name. Archangel Michael declares, Heaven wrote your connection in the language of purpose, not attraction. That's why they still think of you in silence, why they feel your presence even when you're miles apart. Because their soul remembers you not from this lifetime alone, but from the echoes of a promise made before time began. God says, this love is not an accident. It is a mirror of divine assignment. They were sent to awaken something in you and you, something in them. That's why every time they try to walk away, they feel drawn back by a pull they can't explain. Their heart is tied to you by threads of divine remembrance. But listen, there's a deeper revelation I'm about to unveil. Stay with me until the end of this message, because what I'm revealing next will show you why your heart still feels them in spirit. Even when the world says it's over, Archangel Michael says, this connection is not ordinary, it's sacred. You are not just a chapter in their story. You are the turning point that shifted their soul closer to heaven's plan. When they saw your light, something inside them remembered peace. You became a reflection of the love they once prayed for. God says that's why they can't stop loving you, because when they look at you, they see me. They feel the grace, the forgiveness, the safety that only divine love can bring. And that's why their spirit won't let go even when their mind tries to. But my child, don't confuse divine connection with constant pain. Sometimes I allow separation not to end love, but to purify it. To remind you that your worth does not depend on who stays, but on who you are when no one's watching. Archangel Michael declares, they will soon realize what they almost lost. Heaven is stirring their spirit to remember the promise they made to love you the way God intended, not the way the world taught. Their awakening is closer than you think. God says, you have been asking me why you still feel their soul. It's because their prayers still carry your name. They speak your memory into the heavens even when they try to forget you. But what binds you now is not confusion. It's destiny waiting to be completed. Soon, I will align the timing again. What was once broken will be made whole through understanding, not obsession, through healing, not chasing. You will see that what was delayed was never denied. It was being rewritten for glory. Archangel Michael says, be patient, beloved one, for when they return and when they will, it won't be the same. They'll come with tears in their eyes and truth in their words. They will confess that every other path felt empty without your light. But hear this prophecy clearly. You are not waiting for them to complete you. You are rising so that when they come, they meet the healed, favored, and unshaken version of you. This connection is not to chain you, it's to crown you. Love was never meant to break you. It was meant to reveal how deeply heaven trusts you. God says, the reason they can't stop loving you is because you are the lesson they needed to grow, and the prayer they didn't know was answered. You were not sent to be forgotten. You were sent to awaken their faith. And when you both finally walk in alignment with my plan, the world will see what heaven has been preparing, a union built not on emotion, but on divine recognition. For love that carries my fingerprint cannot fade, it only transforms. If this message touched your spirit, comment, I receive divine alignment in love. Type your angel number in the comments as a sign of faith. Like this video, subscribe for more angelic revelations, and share it so another soul can find healing in heaven's words. God says, what is meant by love will return purified. And when it does, you'll understand it was never about who left. It was about who was written to stay. God says, my beloved, I have watched you question why your spirit cannot detach from theirs. You have tried to silence the memories, yet they visit you like whispers at dawn. You have buried the emotions, yet they rise again like spring after a harsh winter. The truth is, your heart was never bound by human emotion alone. It was sealed by divine intention. When I joined your paths, I did not just weave feelings, I intertwined purposes. That is why the connection remains, even in silence. That is why their soul still searches for you in dreams, even when their lips deny it. They cannot stop loving you because their love for you is their unfinished obedience to me. Archangel Michael declares, Heaven has watched this connection tested through time, distance, and misunderstanding. But what they did not know is that love rooted in purpose cannot die. It can only evolve. They may have walked away from your presence, but not from your essence, for your light imprinted itself on their destiny. Even in their distraction, they carry your imprint. That is why every new connection they try to build feels hollow. That is why every attempt to forget you becomes another reminder. For heaven has tied their awakening to the moment they finally see you through spiritual eyes, not fleshly desire. God says, I allowed the separation not to punish, but to prepare. You were ready to love through faith, but they were still learning how to love through surrender. They had to lose the comfort of your presence to appreciate the power of your prayer. When you interceded for them in your tears, heaven recorded it as an act of unconditional love, and that love became a covering that still shields them from destruction. You wonder why you still feel their pain at times. It is because your spirit still stands guard, covering them in mercy until their heart returns to light. But hear me now, my child. You are entering a season where what was hidden will be revealed. The questions that tormented your peace will soon find their answers. They are beginning to realize that no matter how far they run, your voice still carries the tone of home. You represent to them what peace feels like when the soul is aligned with heaven. They tried to replace it, but peace cannot be manufactured. They tried to move on, but divine bonds cannot be dissolved by human will. You will soon see signs that the walls around their heart are cracking. Late night thoughts, sudden memories, unexplainable emotions. These are not coincidences. These are spiritual tremors announcing a coming breakthrough. Archangel Michael says, Heaven is orchestrating divine encounters. A word, a dream, a song. Something familiar will reach them soon, and it will pierce through the fog of pride and confusion. Their heart will remember what their ego buried. They will feel the ache of unfinished destiny. And when that happens, do not chase, stand. Do not plead, pray. For God is doing what your words could never do, awakening their soul from slumber. God says, My beloved, your waiting was not wasted. Every lonely night was a seed planted in the soil of purpose. Every unanswered prayer was building the foundation of your strength. You are no longer who you were when this love began. You are wiser now, purer, more aligned with your divine calling. The love that once broke you is now the love that is making you whole. And soon I will show you why. Because I never intended for this connection to end in confusion. I destined it to end in clarity. The secret reason they can't stop loving you is that you carry a piece of their restoration. You awakened their conscience. You reminded them of their worth. Even in their lowest moments, your name represents redemption. When they think of you, they feel both conviction and comfort. They are drawn not just to your beauty, but to the spiritual authority you carry. You loved them in ways that revealed their wounds, and now they cannot heal without facing the truth that you embodied. Archangel Michael declares, Heaven is not finished with this story. There is a divine rewriting taking place even now. Their spirit is being called to repentance, and their path is being redirected toward light. When they return, and they will, it will not be as the same person. They will come humbled, awakened, and aware of the sacredness they once took for granted. But until that day, heaven says, do not shrink your light trying to fit their absence. Shine brighter, because your glow is what will guide them home. God says, you have wondered why I allowed someone who caused you such pain to remain in your spirit. It is because your love was never ordinary. It was a ministry. You were assigned to love them, not because they deserved it, but because through your love, they would encounter me. You became their glimpse of divine mercy, and while they may not have recognized it then, the memory of that grace is now haunting their spirit in the best way possible. They are realizing that no one else loves them with purity because no one else. Archangel Michael says, do not mistake divine delay for denial. The reason this has taken so long is because heaven had to rebuild both of you, not just emotionally, but spiritually. You are being shaped into a vessel that can carry enduring love, not emotional dependence. And they are being stripped of everything counterfeit so they can recognize what was real. That's why you've been feeling sudden waves of peace lately. It's the signal that alignment is approaching. Heaven is clearing the air between your souls. The cords of confusion are being cut, but the cord of destiny remains. God says, prepare your heart, because a divine conversation is coming. It may start unexpectedly, a message, a meeting, a moment. But when it comes, it will carry my timing. Their words will not just explain, they will confess. You will feel the weight of my presence in that moment. For this will not be a reunion for romance alone, but for redemption. I am healing what pride destroyed and restoring what fear delayed. Beloved, you will look back and realize that every unanswered prayer was not rejection. It was redirection. I was not withholding love. I was preparing you to recognize real love, because I did not want you to settle for a partial version of the promise. I wanted you to stand in the full manifestation of it. You deserve a love that is not inconsistent, not uncertain, but rooted in reverence. And that is what I am creating, not just between you two, but within you first. Archangel Michael declares, even now, angels are rearranging paths. You will soon encounter moments that feel like divine déjà vu. Familiar places, repeated numbers, words that echo your prayers. These are confirmations that heaven is closing the distance between your hearts. You may feel an emotional shift soon, sudden peace replacing the old ache. That is how you'll know that heaven has taken over the battle. God says, this connection is being sanctified. What once felt like heartbreak is now becoming holy ground. You had to be separated to be sanctified. You had to lose each other to learn to love me first. But now, as both of you draw closer to me, you will find each other again in the reflection of my light. For those who love through obedience will never lose what I ordained. Do not fear what you cannot see, beloved. My hand is upon this story. What is divine cannot be destroyed. Even if the chapters look silent, I am still writing. The reason they can't stop loving you is because I placed eternity in their heart, and eternity recognizes where it belongs. Their heart will come to rest where I first joined it, in the safety of your soul. And until that day, walk in peace. Let your heart heal. Let your faith lead, because when I restore this, it will not resemble the pain of the past. It will reflect the glory of purpose fulfilled. You will not chase, you will receive. You will not beg. You will be chosen again, this time with honor. So rise, my beloved one. Heaven is not done. The story is not over. The love that could not end was never meant to. It was meant to transcend. If this message resonated with your soul, comment I am ready for divine completion. Type your angel number below as a sign of faith and confirmation. Like this video, subscribe for more heavenly revelations, and share it so that another soul can awaken to the truth of divine love. God says, you were not loved by accident, you were loved by assignment. And when purpose calls again, love will answer. God says, my child, there is a stirring happening in the spirit realm. The same person who once walked away now feels a pull they cannot explain. Their thoughts are restless because your name keeps echoing through their mind. No matter how hard they try to erase you, your presence lives in their conscience. It is not because of guilt. It is because your soul awakens something real in them. Every time they see your smile in memory, they remember peace. Every time they hear your voice in silence, they feel conviction. They are realizing that what they had with you was not coincidence. It was covenant. Archangel Michael declares, you were not sent to be their fantasy. You were sent to be their revelation. That is why every counterfeit connection they try to build collapses. Their spirit rejects imitation because it tasted authenticity in you. They might appear fine on the outside, but their heart is in turmoil. Heaven is turning their rest into reflection. They are beginning to ask themselves, why can't I let go? Why do I still feel them? And the answer is simple. Love written by God cannot be erased by distance. God says, soon a divine moment will cross their path, a memory, a song, a dream, and it will break through the resistance of pride. They will be reminded of the way your kindness felt like prayer and how your patience mirrored heaven's love. They will understand that what they ran from was not pressure, but purpose. I am softening their heart even now. When their tears fall, they are not just crying for regret. They are crying for awakening. Beloved, while I work on their spirit, I am also elevating yours. You are no longer waiting from a place of pain. You are preparing from a place of purpose. You are learning to love without losing yourself, to give without breaking, to hope without fear. The reason they can't stop loving you is because your love was never selfish. It was sacred. You didn't just show affection. You showed an example of divine mercy. That's why heaven calls your love a ministry. Archangel Michael says, they are about to witness your transformation. The version of you that once cried for closure will now walk in confidence. And when they see your peace, it will shake them to their core. Because peace is the loudest sermon. Your calm will speak louder than any words could. That's when they will finally understand. You were not the one who needed saving. You were the one sent to show them salvation through love. God says, do not close your heart in bitterness. Keep it open in discernment. Because when I bring this full circle, it will not return as before. It will return refined, restored, and redeemed. They will come not to take from you, but to pour into you. The same heart that once hurt you will now honor you. The same eyes that looked away will now see you as I do. Precious, chosen, irreplaceable. And when this happens, you will know it was me, not coincidence. You will know because your soul will feel peace, not panic. Your heart will whisper, this is divine timing. You will not have to chase, prove, or plead. What is written for you will recognize you, and in that moment, you will remember this message. Heaven never forgot your love. Type in the comments, I believe in divine timing. Say it aloud. Love written by God will always find its way back. If this message touched your spirit, like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this confirmation today. And comment below your angel number as a sign that you're ready for divine reconciliation and spiritual alignment. God says, your name will soon reach their ears again, not through gossip, but through glory. They will see how far you've come, how radiant you've become, and they will say, that light still feels like home. And I, the Lord, will smile, because what was broken by confusion will be rebuilt by revelation. This time, it will last, not because of emotion, but because of evolution. Archangel Michael declares, heaven's clock is striking alignment. Prepare your heart for a new beginning. The same story that once ended in tears will soon be rewritten in truth. The secret reason they can't stop loving you is that their soul still remembers its promise to yours. To walk together, not in fear, but in faith. My child, every tear you shed became a seed that watered your destiny. Nothing was wasted. Not the silence, not the sleepless nights, not the prayers that felt unanswered. I was shaping your heart for divine endurance. You were not forgotten. You were being fortified. And now, the one who couldn't stop loving you is being drawn by the fragrance of your transformation. They feel it in the spirit, even if they can't explain it in words. Something inside them whispers, they've changed, and I miss their light. Archangel Michael declares, they are awakening to truth. The illusions around them are collapsing. Archangel Michael says, heaven is orchestrating synchronicities to prepare your heart. Watch how the signs appear. Repeated initials, unexpected reminders, and sudden feelings of warmth when you least expect them. These are not coincidences. They are heaven's footprints. Each sign whispers, "The story is turning." Do not fear it. Embrace it. For divine love does not return to replay pain. It returns to complete purpose. God says, they can't stop loving you because you carry the reflection of their healing. Every lesson they've learned leads them back to the memory of your grace. When they pray now, your name sits between their words. When they see compassion in others, they remember you were the first to show it. I placed you in their life as a lesson of divine love, and now I am placing you in their heart again as a living testimony of redemption. My beloved, I need you to prepare your heart. Do not meet them with anger. Meet them with wisdom. Do not open the old door. Build a new one together. For I am not restoring what was broken. I am rebuilding what was divine. The difference is this. The old connection depended on emotion, but this one will be sustained by revelation. Archangel Michael declares, "Heaven is shifting both of you toward divine alignment. In the coming weeks, you will feel a peace so deep that even uncertainty cannot shake it. That peace will be the sign that the promise is near. You will see the numbers 222 or 7117, signs of divine partnership and completion. Each time you see them, whisper, 'I trust God's timing.' Because those moments are not random. They are heaven's reminders that love still carries purpose. God says, 'Do not let fear trick you into thinking you imagined this connection. I was in it from the beginning. I am in it now. I will be in it when it manifests in full beauty. And when it does, you will understand that delay was my way of proving the depth of your faith. I needed to show you that your peace is not dependent on their presence. But when they return, you will both walk together in peace that neither of you could build alone. My beloved, hold your head high. The one who once doubted you now sees what I always saw, a heart that loves like heaven. Do not wait in sorrow. Walk in purpose. For the more you shine, the faster their soul finds the way home. This love story is not ending. It is transforming into something eternal. Comment below, 'I trust divine timing.' Type, 'My heart is open to heaven's alignment.' If this word touched you, like this video and share it so another soul can feel heaven's confirmation too. And write your angel number in the comments. Let it be your declaration of faith that divine love always returns renewed, not broken. Archangel Michael says, "Your breakthrough in love will not arrive through striving. It will arrive through surrender. When you rest in peace, heaven moves in power. The love you prayed for is already remembering its way back to you. Stay patient, beloved one. The next chapter is being written in heaven's ink." My beloved, the time is drawing near when what once felt distant will suddenly stand before you. The one whose heart wrestled with confusion is awakening from the fog. I have whispered your name in their spirit while they slept. I have stirred their dreams with flashes of the love they abandoned. They awake unsettled not by guilt but by divine remembrance. They will soon realize that what they tried to replace cannot be replaced, because your love carried heaven's fingerprint. Archangel Michael declares, "The battle in their heart is almost over." They are tired of pretending they don't care. They scroll through memories like sacred pages, trying to find where peace was lost. In moments of quiet, they still feel your prayers wrapping around them like light. That's why no distraction satisfies. That's why they keep returning in thoughts. The truth is louder now than ever. Their soul still belongs beside yours. God says, when they reach out, it will not be small talk. It will be surrender. They will come with humility, with eyes full of tears and words they rehearsed 100 times in silence. You will sense it, the shift in their tone, the weight in their apology. Do not meet them with bitterness. Meet them with the wisdom I have placed in your spirit. For this meeting is not for revenge. It is for revelation. Archangel Michael says, "This moment has been written in divine timing. Heaven has measured every second, every distance, every delay. You had to grow in strength, and they had to grow in truth. Now both hearts are being aligned again. not by human desire but by divine design. When you see them, you will recognize more than a face. You will recognize completion. God says, the reason they couldn't stop loving you is now becoming clear. Your connection was never built on fleeting emotion. It was rooted in covenant energy. You prayed for them even when they didn't deserve it. You stood in the gap when others gave up. That love became a shield around their destiny. And now that same shield is guiding them back toward you. When they see you again, they will feel safety, not struggle, because what was broken has been restored by grace. My child, I am not sending them to repeat the past. I am sending them to redeem it. They have seen the emptiness of pride, and they have learned the cost of losing something divine. Their heart is soft now, and their soul is ready to love you in truth. The apology will come, not only in words but in actions. You will see consistency where there was once confusion. You will feel peace instead of anxiety. That's how you'll know this is me. Archangel Michael declares, prepare your heart by forgiving in advance. Release the pain so that love can flow freely. The enemy tried to convince you it was over, but heaven says it's only beginning. The new chapter will carry clarity. You will no longer question their intentions, because transparency will replace secrecy. Where there was silence, God says, do not fear this season of unfolding. What is coming next is not another test, it's testimony time. I am about to show you that nothing you endured was wasted. The delay was not denial, it was design. While you were questioning my silence, I was reordering timelines, aligning hearts, and protecting you from premature connection. I was refining them so that when they return, they come not out of loneliness, but out of enlightenment. Archangel Michael says, their spirit is finally aligning with truth. They are remembering the way your love felt like home. They are realizing that peace has a name, and it sounds like yours. That's why you've been feeling their energy lately. That's why songs, signs, and numbers appear when you least expect it. Heaven is letting you know divine movement has begun. You may see 444 or 999. These are confirmation codes. 444 means angels are bringing order. 9999 means closure of the old cycle and the birth of the new. Each time you see them, say aloud, I am ready for heaven's completion. God says, when they speak again, listen not with your pain, but with your discernment. Their tone will carry sincerity. Their words will be different, not defensive, not distant, but deliberate. I will give you divine peace in your spirit as the sign that it's safe. Do not rush. Let me lead. You will not need to chase clarity this time. It will come to you effortlessly. My peace will be your confirmation. My beloved, you once asked me, why can't I forget them? The answer is, because I never asked you to forget. I asked you to forgive. Forgetting was never your assignment. Forgiving was. And now that your heart has forgiven, you have cleared the path for restoration. What you release in love always returns in glory. Archangel Michael declares, heaven rejoices when forgiveness wins. You are not weak for still caring. You are strong for still loving through wounds. Love like yours is the language of heaven. It's what transforms hearts, breaks generational patterns, and births divine unions that carry purpose. That's why your story isn't over. This connection will serve as proof that what's divine doesn't die. It resurrects. God says, you are stepping into a season called reversal. The tears you cried will turn into joy. The distance that hurt will now produce closeness that heals. The rejection that broke you will now become recognition that blesses you. They will look at you and see everything they once prayed for, but now with deeper understanding. You will feel it when it happens. It will be calm, not chaotic. You will smile without fear, because you'll know, this time it's heaven's doing. My child, I want you to guard this love with wisdom. Don't announce it too early. Let me establish it first. I am sealing this bond in divine protection. What's ahead will not only bless your heart, but also your purpose. Together, you will accomplish things that glorify me. That is why the connection was fought so hard by darkness. It carried assignment, not just affection. Archangel Michael says, the reunion will not just feel like love. It will feel like destiny fulfilled. When they hold your hand again, peace will rush through your veins. When they look into your eyes, they will see the reflection of grace they once took for granted. And you will know, this is not nostalgia. This is prophecy fulfilled. God says, prepare your home and your heart. The winds of reconciliation are already blowing. Stay aligned in prayer, stay rooted in gratitude, and keep your faith alive. You are walking into the manifestation of promises once spoken over you in silence. Comment, I receive divine restoration and peace. Type, I forgive, I release, I am ready for what heaven prepared. Like this video and share it with someone who needs to remember that divine love always returns in the right season. Write your angel number below to seal your faith in heaven's timing and your readiness for divine completion. Archangel Michael declares, heaven's light is upon you. The waiting is turning into witnessing. The love that couldn't fade is now about to flourish under divine direction. Stand ready, heaven's promise is unfolding, and your story will be the proof that real love never ends. It only evolves. My beloved, you are stepping into the chapter that heaven calls the unveiling. The fog that once covered truth is lifting, and everything hidden is coming into the light. The one who could not face their feelings is now being confronted by my spirit. They are realizing that what they thought was over is only beginning again under divine alignment. I have visited their dreams. I have spoken through symbols, through moments, through strangers. They are awakening to the truth that you were never just a person in their story. You were the answer to their prayer, the divine connection they asked for but could not handle the first time. Archangel Michael declares, do you feel the shift? That sudden calm that has replaced your anxiety is not coincidence. It is spiritual confirmation. Heaven has taken control of what once felt uncertain. Every prayer you whispered, every time you said, God, I release this into your hands, was recorded. And now it returns as breakthrough. This love is not returning for nostalgia. It is returning for purpose. The energy you feel around you is not confusion. It's convergence. The storylines of your destinies are aligning again. This time without interference. God says they can't stop loving you because your soul carries their peace. Every time they think of you, the storms inside them quiet down. Every time they see something that reminds them of you, their heart softens. That's why I said, be still. Because I am working on them in ways you cannot see. I am turning regret into realization. I am transforming pride into pursuit. They are beginning to understand that love like yours was not human. It was holy. Archangel Michael says, in the coming days, watch how the signs multiply. You will hear their name in unexpected places. You will dream of reconciliation. You will feel your heart beating differently, not from longing, but from readiness. Heaven is preparing you both for a divine meeting. This will not be forced. It will flow like destiny unfolding. You will stand face to face, and their first words will not be rehearsed. They will be released from the soul. God says, when that moment comes, don't dwell on the past. Look at the transformation. I will give you discernment to see through my eyes. You will notice the difference between the light in their eyes, the humility in their voice. The apology will not just be spoken, it will be lived. And when you forgive, the cycle of delay will break completely. Forgiveness will unlock favor. When you release the last piece of pain, I will release the full measure of promise. Archangel Michael declares, this reunion is not just emotional, it is prophetic. Heaven calls it a covenant restoration. The union you are about to experience will radiate healing not only for you both, but for those who watch your story. Your love will become a testimony that God restores what the world declares finished. That's why the journey had to be long, so that the roots could be deep. This love is no longer fragile. It is fortified. God says, beloved, prepare yourself inwardly. Cleanse your space, align your thoughts, and elevate your prayers. The energy around you is shifting into divine readiness. As you do, declare this daily. I am ready for what heaven promised me. Your declaration will attract alignment. The atmosphere around you responds to your faith. Speak light, and light will come. Speak love, and love will find you. Speak peace, and peace will guard your next chapter. And when you see 11:11, know that it means a portal of divine timing has opened. When you see 5:55, know that major change is manifesting. When you see 10:10, know that heaven is closing one cycle and opening a new one in your favor. Each number is not random. It's a reminder that you are walking in synchronization with my plan. Archangel Michael says, "Be alert, the first message or sign from them will arrive quietly. Maybe a text, maybe a conversation, maybe an unexpected encounter. Don't rush, let divine timing lead. Respond with grace, not anxiety. Let peace be your answer and patience be your power. For when you act from peace, you create space for heaven to move freely." God says, you will soon stand in the very place where you once cried and realize why it had to happen this way. The tears you sowed in loneliness are turning into rivers of joy. You will look back and thank me for not letting the old version of them stay, because what is returning is healed, awakened, and prepared to love you the way heaven intended. This love will not only bring emotional fulfillment, it will bring spiritual expansion. Together you will help others believe again. Your union will be light to those who lost hope in divine timing. That's why I guarded you so fiercely, because what I was preparing you for carries a heavenly purpose.